Good morning. It's Councillor Glen, and it is Saturday, May the 13th, and this is my Stittsville update for the week. Today, I'm here at Alexander Grove Park. This is next to Johnny Leroux Arena on Warner-Colpitts Drive off Stittsville Main Street. You can see the baseball diamond, the main diamond behind me. There's a picnic shelter over there. If I were to turn the camera around, you'd see the other baseball diamond and the soccer fields as well. And of course, here at Alexander Grove, the best thing is the massive trees. Sadly, we lost a few of them in the storm last year, but still a really amazing place to visit. So if you're looking for something to do, a place to explore this weekend, check out Alexander Grove. You can walk along the Pool Creek just on the side of it. A really nice place in our community. I'll jump right in because, as I do every week, I've got lots of updates. I'll start with things happening at City Hall and what my week looked like, I guess. On Monday, actually, I was at the Nepean Sportsplex. I was invited to a rail readiness meeting for OC Transpo staff, and they covered all of the elements that go into making sure the next stage of light rail is ready to go. They're focused on the southern extension that goes down to the airport and goes down to Riverside South. And we talk certainly about trial running, but all the little details that maybe you take for granted but have to be up and operational. Security cameras, payphones, installation of signage, customer communications, even they've got the fare machines where you pay for your fare. They have to schedule delivery of cash for those fare machines. So there's just so many things, dozens and dozens of different elements. And this is a meeting for all of the managers and supervisors at OC Transpo to come together and check in where they're at and identify where there might be some issues or risks. But it was a really super meeting and gives me a lot of confidence that the team at OC Transpo is very well organized and getting set for the launch of that southern spur of light rail, likely in the fall. So we'll keep track of that. I was back in Stittsville on Tuesday, meeting with my team, what we call our team quarterly. We have a planning meeting that we do 4 times a year just to look at the months ahead, and we talked a lot about upcoming events, which I'll fill you in on a little bit later. On Wednesday, we did have a city council meeting, and I guess the main thing we talked about was something called high performance development standards. So the last term of council, about a year and a half ago, the city raised the standards for energy efficiency in homes. And unfortunately, this week at council delayed the full implementation of that for another 6 months or so. I didn't support that, but I was on the losing side there of council. So more information about that on my website if you're interested. Also on Wednesday, we had McHappy Day. This is a fundraiser by all of the McDonald's restaurants across the city, and it goes towards Ronald McDonald House. So I was there helping out at the drive-thru, and thanks for everyone who came by and made a donation. Ronald McDonald House is a facility at Chio over in the East End, and it's kind of like a hotel where family members can stay while their kids are in the hospital. And they are doing a massive expansion of that facility, going from 14 rooms to 22 rooms later on this year with the start of construction. And it's a multi-million-dollar project and an incredible facility that has helped many, many families since the early 1980s when it was first built. So I was happy to help out there. On Thursday, we had our Transit Commission, and for a change, I think a lot of positive, encouraging news. For example, we got the ridership data for March, 6 million transit customers. That's more riders in a single month than since 2019, before the pandemic. We got a big update on some upgrades coming to technology, including GPS, to assist with better communications to customers and better predictions for stop times, including first trip predictions. And we heard about some new technology, some integrations with transit and with Google Maps and with Apple Maps, and the pilot of something called e-ink or e-paper. So watch for these over the next year or two, being deployed all the time. Some improvements to the bus tracking and prediction and communications, which is great. The other thing is we received the report on Ebus, the Ebus pilot, and some really good news there. The buses have exceeded expectations, met or exceeded expectations, I guess, on battery life and so on in all types of weather, hot and cold. So that's really good news. Friday, I was here in the ward. Actually, I had breakfast with Mayor Watson at the new Village Cafe over near the No Frills. Really good breakfast there, so thanks to the staff there. And then a series of meetings. There's a lot going on at the city right now. And I'll remind you to check out my website. It's glengower.ca. And every single day this week, we posted new information about things that are happening here in our ward and in our city. Just to give you a flavor, we've got the latest update on ice storm cleanup. I know there's still some branches, some streets with branches. Crews will be out there soon, including a big blitz on Tuesday. So check out my website for more information there. We posted the new draft regulations for little free libraries and curbside gardens. So if you're interested in that topic, check out my website. There's some information about tow trucks and your rights as a motorist. If you're in a collision and you need a tow truck, some information about licensing of tow trucks locally and what your rights are as a driver. We have an update on 1981 Maple Grove. This is near Bryanston Gate and Fairwinds. It's the Claridge project. The Ontario Land Tribunal has ordered an approval of that property. That's the one right at the west end of Maple Grove Road. And once Claridge builds that, they'll also be required to build the connection from Maple Grove over to Stittsville Main Street and Jackson Trails. We have an update on spring trees, about tree planting, trees and trust, trees in local schools and parks, a plan for how that's happening. Planting has already started, and it'll continue for a few more weeks yet here in Stittsville. And I posted some information about auto theft. There's a big announcement last week from the province about some new funding for the OPP and other law enforcement agencies to better tackle auto theft. So I have some thoughts on that on my website as well. Lots of stuff. We have some closures coming up. Road closure of Shea Road, south of Fernbank, between Fernbank and Fluellen. There's a stormwater pipe being installed, and that means the southbound lane of Shea Road is going to be closed starting on Monday for about, I think it's till the end of July. So if you live on Cosanti or in the Edenwild neighborhood, and you are used to using Cosanti to get out onto Shea Road, that access is going to be blocked for a few weeks, so you'll need to go out the Fernbank way. But there will be signage and detour information posted. Coming up this week, we have a planning committee meeting, and one of the items is a big Stittsville item. It's known as 5618 Hazeldean Road. It's Minto's Abbott's Run community, the first phase of that. This is a big piece of land just east of Iber, between Abbott Street and Hazeldean Road. Overall, the plan is okay. It's going to be a mix of homes of varying sizes. When it's fully built out, could be close to 3,000 homes, so singles, towns, low-rise, and probably even as we get closer to Hazeldean Road, some taller apartments, maybe 6 to 9 stories there. My concern around it is there's no commercial planned near Abbott and Robert Grant, and I really think that'd be a miss if that were to develop without any commercial there. It would be a huge benefit to walkability in the central part of that Fernbank neighborhood. So I'm working hard with planners and Minto to try to update their plan to include some local commercial there, kind of near where the Paul Desmarais High School is, basically. Garbage. Continue to get a lot of feedback about the waste diversion proposal and the partial pay-as-you-throw or bag tag proposal. I'm not going to cover here in the video. I'm going to work on some videos this week because it's a big enough topic. I think it deserves some videos and some updates on its own. But thank you for the feedback and the questions, and we are trying to answer and clarify as much as possible for you so that you have the information you need on that. So more coming soon. Stay tuned. It is Emergency Preparedness Week. Got my little postcard here. We sent these out a couple weeks ago to every home in Stittsville. If you get a few moments this weekend, check out ottawa.ca and look for the emergency preparedness information. And make sure that your family and your household is prepared for an emergency, because you never know. I also wanted to mention we're considering setting up some Red Cross emergency preparedness workshops, but would like to see, before we go and set something up, what level of interest is there. We want to gauge the interest. So if you'd be interested in doing a emergency preparedness workshop offered by the Red Cross, please send me a message and just trying to get an idea of how many people might want to participate in that. Some upcoming events, busy day, busy weekend. I have a councillor chat from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Village Square Park. That's over on Stittsville, Maine at Abbott. We are going to be giving away Slow Down for Us signs. So if you'd like one of those for your front lawn, please drop by while supplies last. But we've got about 100 or so of them, so lots to go around. So 11 to 1 at Village Square Park today. Coming up on May 28th, that's a Sunday, I believe, we have our Mission to Mars family bike ride. We've got lots of families signed up already, which is great. You can do so on my website at glengower.ca. A heads up today, there's a ride for disabled vets. It says 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. here on my card, but I think they're starting at Browns around 10 a.m. and then they're going to be going on a kind of a tour out in the rural areas and then back and ending at Browns around 3 p.m. as well. So just be aware there's going to be a lot of motorcycle traffic and probably a lot of noise along Stittsville Main Street later on today. At the Rec Center, the Ottawa West Art Association are changing out their art. The new theme is My Happy Place, so you can go and say hi to the artist today if you'd like, and over the next few weeks you can check out the new art that'll be on display. That's at Cardinal Rec, 1500 Shea, next to Sacred Heart High School. And there's lots going on, lots of events. Every week in my email newsletter, we publish a list of upcoming Stittsville events, so make sure you subscribe to that to see all the events and activities happening in our community. And tomorrow, Sunday, is Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day to everyone. That's it for me. Thank you for tuning in. Check out my website, glengower.ca. There's details about everything there. There's one other thing I want to remind you, because I heard this last night. It seems to be street racing season again. We're hearing a lot of speeding vehicles and noisy engines. Report that to Ottawa Police, please. They do blitzes, and they appreciate the reports because it helps them pinpoint where this happens on a weekly basis, and they do get out there and do the enforcement, and there's some pretty hefty fines and license suspensions that they can levy as well. So go to ottawapolice.ca/report to report street racing, loud engines, and things like that. It's incredibly dangerous, and police appreciate your report so they can pinpoint their enforcement. All right, that's really it, and I'll see you next Saturday. Take care. Bye.